Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and here with another episode of Kingdom episode 5. Last time on Kingdom, of course, uh, it's a reassuring moment for me. Cho Hak-ju he's finally got he finally got what was coming to him. He's finally dead. Um, One of the most vile characters in the entire series, and all the atrocities that he has committed in the name of, you know, his legacy. Not so much even for the people as you know, as much as that's how it seems to have started out. I think, he when we had the flashback with him and Hyun and the war and them wanting to win the war at any cost whatsoever, even at the cost of some of their own citizens. The argument can be made that he was doing this for the greater good, to protect themselves from the Japanese, to win that war at all costs with a minimum sacrifice, as I believe he convinced himself. Um, the argument can be made that he had good intentions. Maybe I don't see it that way, but he could have deluded himself into thinking that. But where we are now, where we are today, he's obviously doing all of this for his own selfish purposes. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the more power he gained, the more notoriety he gained, the more he felt he was somehow above the citizens of the country, and he had that power, and he just wasn't willing to relinquish it. We saw, a glimpse of humanity in him when his son died. He was actually torn up about it. But I mean, if only he had shed just a drop of those tears for the very people that he was sacrificing and killing. That's someone's son that you're sentencing to death. That's someone's daughter. That's someone's father. That's someone's wife. You know, but he didn't. Yet when it came to his own kin, yeah, I'm truly overjoyed by his downfall. Unfortunately, this now brings us with the Queen Regent, who she's her father's daughter, and in all ways she's now more powerful than he ever was. She's Queen Regent. She now has the child to cement her power. Not her child, but who will question her at this stage? Her father was the only one who could really rein her in. Now there's no one. Her father's gone. Her brother's dead. So she's in fact the last of the Cho clan, right? So with that, all the powers, she has amassed all the power in the land, and uh, only the prince can now challenge her. I don't see a way. I mean, this is in the feudal era. There's no way for them to prove without a doubt that she's not the mother of the child. They do have one witness, which is Seo-bi, but she could just kill her at any moment. I don't think she will yet, because she needs her to help with the zombies, with the undead. So she'll keep her around, but that's just the word of one. And even then, the way in which she tested her last episode by checking her pulse, I mean, there's some legitimacy to that. But as more and more time passes, there's less validation in doing that test at a later date, because she could say she has now recovered, right? So I think the only way to take her down is a direct assault, which the prince will have to, he'll have to attack the crown. And I don't know if he has the resources, if he has the men to actually do that. I don't honestly, things are looking pretty gloom for him right now in terms of his chances. He does have an ace up his sleeve, which you know, um, he did raise in the last episode. We saw him visit this fisherman, who was later revealed to be his uncle, his father's brother, I'm assuming, who, if I'm guessing right, would have been next in line after the king passes, only if the prince himself, you know, if the king doesn't have an heir. That's the only way that I can see his uncle going into power. But the only way that he can get that outcome is if he dies, if Prince Lee Chang dies, and then, you know, his uncle would be next in line. But then that still means he has to, you know, he has to remove the queen's claim that she has a child for the king. So once there's an offspring, it makes it a bit difficult for his uncle to step into power. So I'm not sure why that was. I think in the end, his uncle will be the one to claim power. I'm just not sure how the prince is going to go about discrediting the queen and her having a child. The good news is Mu-yeong's wife is still alive. She can make the claim that that is her child, but how do you prove any of this? How? So these are all questions. I know what needs to happen. I'm just not quite sure how the prince will get there with the limited resources that he has available. So fingers crossed, guys. Let's see. All right, so episode 5 of Kingdom. Let's check it out, guys. I guess they're prepping for the final assault. It doesn't have a lot of men.
의금부로 끌려간 너희의 가족들을 차명에 처한다고 한다.
The members of the royal division.
그런데도 날 계속 따르겠는가?
I mean, what other choice do they have? Even if they do decide not to support him anymore, they'd still kill their family. So this is the only way to save their family. Oh, we actually haven't seen this guy in a few episodes. He has the journal. I guess this is a proof. I mean, at the very least, the proof of what they did to the king. He could betray the prince and you know, give the journal to the queen to spare his wife and daughter. I hope he doesn't, but
멈춰라. 나라의 우환이 끊이질 않고 고변을 하러 왔습니다. 대역죄인 장이 훈련도관 병사들을 거느리고 한양성 밖 영기서원에서 지원군을 기다리고 있습니다.
oh god damn it!
고변을 했으니 부탁입니다. 내 가족들만은 살려주십시오.
Turning them over to save his family. Or is this a part of the plan? I don't know. They gave him the journal, which is the only piece of evidence that they actually have. Please be a part of the plan. Please be a part of the plan. A diversion, and they're not actually there, but they went to the palace. Yes, they're not there.
아무도 없습니다. 이쪽도 아무도 없습니다.
He's here. Locking out their own soldiers. Perfectly timed.
적포청과 우포청에 남은 군사가 몇인가? 내금이와 함께 성 밖으로 나간 병사들이 많아 모두 합해도 몇십 분일 것입니다. 남은 군사를 모두 모으고 병판 대감에게 내병조의 지원.
Yo, pal, you traitor. You traitor.
백성들은 들으라. 나라의 녹을 먹는 군사들로서 대역죄인 창을 벌하여야 마땅하나 제 직분을 잊고 영모에 가담하여
How many times did Chang save her life, pal? How many times?
왕명이다. 자명을. 자명.
If there's gonna be any moment of redemption for you, it needs to be now. You're gonna give the order to execute these people.
태상이고 나버리고 이런 건 못하겠다.
I don't know if this redeems him, guys. I don't know if this redeems him. Now you're calling him your Royal Highness?
잘하였다.
I wish he had done it just so he could
내가 있을
die.
때로
I'm
돌아갈
sorry.
한양 성문이 막혀 거를 지켜줄 내금이들마저 들어오지 못하고 있습니다. 마마.
I know, she's back into a corner.
서야 합니다.
And she's crazy. She may just let all the undead loose into the city.
그것은 전임 어이였던 이승희 의원이 적은 병상일지입니다. 그 안에 적힌 것은 모두 사실.
좌부총과 우부총의 병사들을 모두 제압하였습니다. 이제 국무를 모시겠습니다.
Oh, this is the first advisor that spoke out. I thought he was dead. Now they ask for forgiveness and to spare their lives. No, I do not do the extreme of executing their families, but they need to go. Well, animal is dangerous when they're backed into a corner. I don't think she's not gonna give this up so easily.
맞습니까? 그걸 오래 떠나 있던
Still
언니에게
confident.
예를 갖추는 법도 잊었습니까?
당신은 내 어머니가 아니오.
어미에 대해 혀를 모르는 건 아드님은
아비의 목을 쳐 죽인 대역죄인일 뿐입니다.
이제 이
There's
용사는
no one left to carry out her orders, so all I can see her doing now is releasing the undead to somehow kill everyone
그 아이가
and maintain her power.
사가인 대선제에 왜 만삭의 인부들을 모은 것입니까? 그리고 그 인부들과 계집 아이들을 왜 죽이신 것입니까?
병판 대검의 말씀이 맞습니다. 나도 오랫동안 아주 이상하다 생각했습니다.
No, you
어이와 어이여
haven't.
중궁전의 상궁들과
용상에 앉은 자가 당연히 해야만 했던 일들. 백성은 먹을 것을 하늘로 삼고 왕은 그 백성을 하늘로 삼는다.
Ah,
그
finish
도리를
the
외면했기
verse.
때문이요. 스스로 내려올 것인가? 군관들에 의해 개처럼 끌려 내려올 것인가?
아비의 목을 친 것도 모자. 어디 해보십시오.
난 이 용상에서 한 발자국도 움직이지 않을 것입니다.
걱정 마십시오. 제가 가서 어보를 가져와 전이 교서를 쓰게 하겠습니다.
저도 가겠습니다.
But will that really spread fast enough for them to not take her out? Wow. She's that loyal? Sacrifice herself for the queen? I mean,
아무도 없느냐?
he's trying to do it the formal way, but I mean, get rid of her, kill her there, take the child back to its mother. I'm not sure how she intends to survive this though, because she only had one undead locked up. It's gonna spread to her maid, and then to the advisor, and then to the next one. That's gonna take a while. Be careful, Seo-bi. It's too late. So what is she gonna rule over if everyone gets infected, and what's gonna protect her? She will just die as well. Their plan is either I get the throne or nobody gets the throne and everyone dies.
대체 무슨 짓을 꾸민 것인가?
내가 가질 수 없다면 그 누구도 가질 수 없습니다.
I mean, they still have enough men to get rid of the infected before it spreads too much, but please.
중궁전에서 역병이 퍼졌습니다.
If they all die in this, then she can just blame it on the prince.
상대가 탕상관이건 양관이건 직급 따윈 상관하지 말고 머리를 공격해야 한다. 역병에 걸린 병자는 한 명도 살려둬선 안 된다. 알겠느냐?
They're leaving her. Do not leave her. No. Oh man. I made the same mistake with Hak-ju. You cannot leave. If everyone's gonna die, kill her first. He's done for.
안에 사람 있어.
Yeah, I think they know someone's in there. Worst way to go. Go, jump in on the tree, man. Gotta do it. Alright, young Sid. That Vampire, do not save him, please. Let him go. That's punishment. Alright, that's punishment. You deserve that and so much more. I hope this guard survives. He's been a G since this season has started, doing his investigations and stuff. I hope he lives.
비명소리가 안 들려요.
Where is the queen? Why is no one paying attention to the queen? What about the guards at the palace and the queen? If I'm going, she's the first person that's gonna die, okay? I don't know what happens from here. All I know is she's dying first. A smug look on her face. Alright guys, episode 5 of Kingdom, and all hell has broken loose. The Cho clan is a plague. They are a plague. Any opportunity that they get to take them out, they should take it. Right? Man. So now I believe this outbreak is, it's restricted to just the palace, right? Because I think they closed off all the gates, right? Just after the prince arrived. So at the very least, it's contained within the palace, I think, right? So, all I need to do is just get rid of those that are in the palace. It's a lot of them now because they have marched in the royal divisions. All the members of the royal division, they brought in all their families there for the execution, and I'm assuming that those are the people that got turned, and all the guards, of course, and that were within palace. But at the very least, it's not a mass outbreak. I don't know how they're going to be able to contain it without reinforcements, or where those reinforcements would come from. I suppose if the guards that had left to get the prince initially, if those guys get inside, I believe some members of the police bureau had gone with them too, so they should have enough force to take care of this. If they can somehow get the gates back open and let those forces back inside, they may be able to get it under control. But man, the Cho clan, the moment you have one of them in your sights, you need to take them out. They made the same mistake with Hak-ju, did not kill him when he was infected, and then he ordered the execution of all the members of the families of the royal division. So once you have them, don't let them out of your sights. The queen has now, she has said either she can have the throne or no one will have it. So she's quite content with killing every single person rather than stepping down from the throne. She's insane. She's insane. I don't know how the prince is going to get out of this one, but fortunately they have, if they do survive this, they have everything they need. They have the journal, they have multiple witnesses. That guard who was carrying out the investigation, I believe he was the head of the royal division before he was in prison. He's a badass. There are only a few people in this series who've been doing they've been doing their job, and they've been incorruptible. Right, and he's definitely one of them. There's that one magistrate that has now died. He was the one that was speaking out and telling the others about the investigation and to ask the questions. And none of those assholes were doing their job. But as soon as the prince arrived with overwhelming force, they're bowing and we were just following orders. We'll do whatever you say. They should be removed. And obviously I don't subscribe to the whole kill them and kill their families thing. That's ridiculous. But they should be removed, and they should be executed, right? The number of people that they have killed in the name of following their orders, and other, they were quite content with executing the family members of the members of the Royal Division. They didn't ask any questions. They had opportunity, right? One magistrate spoke out, and if they all backed him at the time, and spoke out to Cho Hak-ju at the time, there could have been some delay at the very least, but no, they're all with him, whether it's for fear of their own life or not. But you can't just think about yourself. And I hope they get what's coming to them. Right? There's doing your job, but if you don't question things, you're just a yes man. And especially when it comes to, if you're in a job where, making decisions like this doesn't come at such a life or death cost, I can understand. But these guys are making decisions that are literally responsible for the death of hundreds of people, and their excuse is that they were just following their order. They're just following royal orders. It's ridiculous. And whether it's then and now, the same thing applies. The military, local authority, police, sheriffs, whatever the case might be, oftentimes they forget the oath that they actually take, and which is to serve and protect. And your duty is to the people, not to your commander. Yes, direct command is important, but what if your direct command says, "Hey, slaughter this entire village of people"? That's the point at which you question it, because your duty, while following orders is important, your duty is to the people of the country. And it's ridiculous. I can't wait for the queen to get what's coming to her. We had some redemption for Byung-pal here. I don't know if that's redemption enough for everything that he has done. He's responsible for Mu-yeong dying because he listened to Cho Hak-ju and called in the Royal Division, and they ended up killing Mu-yeong. So I'm sorry, I can't forgive him. I cannot forgive him. He did something noble here, by not executing the family members of the Royal Division, and that's good. The prince commended him, saying that he made the right decision, but all he said was, "I cannot do this," right? He didn't say this isn't right or we shouldn't do this. If the prince hadn't showed up, all that would happen is they would have appointed someone else the head of the Royal Division, and they would have carried out the execution. So for me, just saying I can't do this isn't enough, so much as calling out that no one should be doing this. Maybe if he had said that, I would have some sympathy for him, but I don't have any for him. I'm sorry. He's done too many cowardly acts throughout this series that have gotten too many people killed. I'm off the Byung-pal train. I can't. I'm glad at the very least that Seo-bi is safe. She's safe, and hopefully, I don't know how much time passed between the last episode and this one, whether or not there's been an opportunity for her to continue working on a cure. But hopefully someone has been, or at the very least she has an idea as to how to combat this thing. We now know that it's a result of the eggs from the worms and not so much the plant itself. So I don't know, maybe that gave her some insight as to how else they can counter it. Right now it's not looking too great for our characters. It's not. All I know is the queen needs to pay dearly for everything that she has done so far. I do. Wow. Alright guys, be sure to post down below, let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. Hit like and subscribe, and I will see you guys for the finale.